I fathom or comprehend this life.
Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to Plant Park Podcast, a choice hub for book reviews and crucial conversations. So good to be with you today. Hope you've been following through this year, listening to our book reviews and crucial conversations. We've had a couple of exciting people on the show this year, from Incam to Foyer to Mashud and to solo episodes. You understand? I want you to look back. Go read, go listen. Actually, I like book too much. Go listen to our previous episodes, and I'm very sure that you would see episodes that you can relate with. You see things that would help you at every area of life you're in, whether you're Gen Z, you're older, you're millennial, we got you. Today we're going to be reviewing a very important book, a book that is so dear to my heart. So, as you can see over the years, how I pick books for review. There are books that I've read, there are books that are personally meaningful to me, or books that you, our audience, are important to us, you recommend for us to actually just, review. And this particular book for today is a book by Mr. Leke Alder. Let me tell you, so the thing is that sometimes, I was having a conversation with someone yesterday that sometimes we think you are farming people, but the truth is that it's just always been there and you can't help it. I remember in 2020 during COVID, my pastor, shout out to DJ Paul, Pastor Joey Made, was actually doing Instagram live series, and I remember Mr. Leke Alder came and had sessions with us. And in one of those sessions, 40 lessons for businesses, I can't forget. I still have that what they call it, that lesson saved as a Microsoft Word document, is on my mail. So I remember one of those IG lives that Pastor Poju was having during COVID. Mr. Leke Alder came and actually promised to give us this book, Parable of the Box, and that's how I had a copy since then. And I've read that book again a couple of times because it has very profound lessons. So, and Mr. Alder's sister's birthday was recently. Big shout out to me. I really don't know him personally. I've not met him personally, but I admire his work. I admire his research process. As a consultant, I'm also an education consultant. So I just pray for wisdom like his, and insight, you understand, from the Holy Spirit, from someone like him. So yeah, I just couldn't help but give you that background information. So let's go right into this episode. Let's take a quick commercial break, then we come back to reading and reviewing Parable of the Box by Mr. Leke Alder.
From top down below, all I see all over me is your faithfulness, and this your faithfulness.
Yes. So ironically, I just opened my book reading app, and guess what? It's another Leke Alder's book I'm actually even reading right now. So we'll come back to that another day. But today we are reviewing Parable of the Box by Leke Alder. I told you that I got to know about this book during COVID, during one of the Instagram lives that Pastor Joey Made was doing, and I've read this book a couple of times. And since this is our International Women's Day episode, I felt that this is the perfect book for us. So let me jump right into the book. First off, it's a very short book, short and profound book. It's about 12 pages on my reading app. I guess it is for every other person. And then it has 5 chapters. And really, we're going to read this book today, twist. We're going to read this book today. So let's start this way. This book was written in 2011, by the way. Chapter 1, in a nutshell. Not much is known about the private life of William Shakespeare. We know he married a 26-year-old woman named Anne Hathaway at the age of 18, and that they had 3 children, a set of twins and a daughter. We know he was an actor, a writer, and part owner of a drama company called the Lord Chamberlain's Men. His father was an elder man. No, he wasn't a member of my family. The title elder man just means he was involved in government as a legislator, a local government official, or in some other capacity. Shakespeare's three most outstanding works are the political thriller Macbeth. I've read Macbeth. The drama King Lear. I've not read this. And the tragic comedy Hamlet. I've read Hamlet. In Hamlet, the demented prince in a revenge assassination murders his uncle who allegedly murdered his father, the king, and married his mother. In the process, he commits manslaughter, killing his girlfriend's father, and then the girlfriend runs mad in grief. It's a tale of grief. It's a tale of madness, murder, treachery, revenge, and corruption. From Act 2, Scene 2 of Hamlet comes the quote, "It could be bonded in a nutshell and count myself. I could be bonded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space." You see, in the days of Shakespeare, there was no expression called thinking outside the box. They spoke about thinking outside the shell. Hence the expression, "I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space." It means that even if we are limited physically, our minds are free to explore the whole universe and go boldly where others fear to tread. In essence, if you want to think out of the box, you've got to get out of the box. Your space vehicle is your imagination. I would illustrate our subject with a parable, the parable of the box. Beautiful writing. For women listening to me, for men listening to me, relax and think about these words. I could be bonded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space. The box is our mind, our imagination. Let's take a quick commercial break and go to chapter 2.
All I see all over me is your faithfulness. And every time I look from
Chapter 2. The young woman. There was a young woman who lived in a box. It was a one-bedroom apartment in a house full of one-bedroom apartment boxes, lined on either side of a long, dark, and dingy corridor. The corridor was as long as from here to yonder. There were probably as many as 50 to 70 one-room apartment boxes in that house. In Lagos, Nigeria, they call such houses "face me, I face you," simply because the rooms face each other across a corridor. Now, you may not be familiar with houses of that nature. Àwọn Lagosians, they are going to know that, though. But if you are familiar, you will know that the corridor leads straight to the private conferencing facilities at the back of the house. By that, I mean the toilet. You can't imagine how precious toilet time is in such a house. Over 200 people have to share that toilet. Rush hour in the mornings is worse than being stuck in traffic, and rush hour begins by 5 a.m. or earlier. You learn to wake up before the cock crows when you live in a box. In fact, you wake up while the cock is dreaming and snoring. The rooms vomit people into a long corridor in the mornings. Expectations and fortunes collide on that corridor every day. Our young lady wasn't born in a box. The circumstances of life thrust her into the box. Her parents suffered economic misfortune. Some are born in the box. Others are thrust into the box, and some put themselves in a box of their own making. But the young woman resolved to get out of the box. That would prove a very difficult thing to do, but she was determined to get out. It did take some time and a lot of courage, but out she did. It took a lot of time, it took a lot of courage, but out she did. So whatever box you may be in right now, dear men, dear women listening to this episode, you will get out of it. It's going to take you courage, determination. It's going to take you some time, but out you will get of that box you've put yourself, or you might have been thrust in through life, or you were born into. Think about that as we go on a quick break to read chapter 3.
From top down below, all I see all over me is your face.
Chapter 3. The visit. One day, our young lady went visiting her former neighbor in the box. She came to urge him to get out of the box. "You must get out of the box," she urged in earnest. "The box kills dreams." But her words seemed to fall on deaf ears. They were simply not interested in what she had to say. Some even called her a dreamer. Others scoffed. Time will tell whether you can survive outside the box. These people were not interested in getting out of the box, and some were actually angry with her. They felt she had come to make fun of them, just because she got lucky. The box had conditioned their thinking. They were content with their lot. One of them said he tried to get out of the box once, but then he became a pigeon. Pigeons always come back to the nesting site, and boxers returned to the box. The young lady was discouraged. So discouraged she turned to leave. As she stood outside crying silently, a young man came out and accosted her. "I want to thank you for coming," he said. "Sorry for the matter you were treated. But tell me, how can I get out of the box?" She looked at him with tear-filled eyes, grateful that someone was at least interested in what she had to say. "I'm going to tell you the secret," she said, choking. "Apply the secret to get out of the box. If you want to get out of the box, you must apply the 3 laws of the box." At this, the young man became intrigued. Oh, praise the Lord. Okay, 2 things I'd like to say to you from this episode. From this chapter 3. The visit. See, there are times that you have actually gotten out of the box, your own imagination, but then you still mix with people that they are still thinking like they are in the box, and then as you meet with those people, they try to invalidate your process. Like, "No, what are you even thinking? You're over dreaming. What are you saying? This, blah 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 blah." I want you to pay attention to this. When you have actually made some progress yourself, I'm not saying you should entirely leave everybody that was in your life before, but you have to pay attention to people that still have old thoughts, old patterns of belief, and they are still talking. And do you know the irony? Sometimes, like my dad will say, foolish people talk confidently at times. Like, what they're saying is very incorrect though, but they will say with so much confidence that if you're not careful, you will actually start believing that this person is actually correct. But the person ain't correct in any way. The person is lying to you. Lying, ultimately lying. But they'll make it sound so real that if you're not careful, you start believing what they even said to you. So my point in all of this is that pay attention to people you have outgrown, things you have outgrown, thought patterns that you have outgrown. The truth is they no longer work, and it is just what it is. It's not working. It's not who you are any longer. Pay attention to that. Like, for instance, I identified in my personal life that there are people, places, and things I've overgrown. And when those things come and say, nah, Oluwatosin, man, you didn't meet the Oluwatosin here. So pay attention to this as you go about life. Dear men, dear women, listening to this podcast episode.
Oh, I see it. Gratitude to say. I saw it, everything in me. I say.
Chapter 4. The secret. What I'm about to tell you is known to only a few. So listen, please. I was lucky to learn it from a wise old man who showed me kindness. "Tell me," the young man implored. "I want to get out of the box." "I'll tell you the 3 laws of the box, but the laws will do you no good unless you understand the box. You need to understand the box. He said, but I live in the box. He said, yes, you do. But you know nothing about the box. I thought I did too. Okay, tell me. The box has eyes. Did you know? It has invisible cameras. It records you every day in order to create your history. The box has ears. It hears everything you say. As she spoke, something kept ringing in the ears of the young man. The box kills. The box kills. The box kills. The box kills, he blurted. Shame is something the young man knows so well. He can't bring his friends home because of shame. The box rooms are dark and crowded. Even the light bulbs are ashamed. That is why light is so dim inside the box. Knowledge is scarce. Because of the extreme conditions inside the box, the lady continues. Many give up on their dreams. People resign themselves to the prophecy of the box. The box prophesies, as if the young lady could read his mind. She replied without missing a beat. The box prophesies, and those prophecies shape our thinking. Those who live inside the box think in a particular way, while those who live outside the box think differently. You need to study how out-of-the-box thinkers think. The young man was aware of some. Steve Jobs of Apple, Walt Disney of the Disney fame, Anita Roddick of Body Shop, George Lucas of the Star Wars franchise, Masaru Ibuka and Akio Morita, the founders of Sony. Think of Ralph Lauren and his Effinoni brand. Think of Sheikh Ahmed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Emir of Dubai, who dreamt of building on water in the desert. Think of Reverend Ratanaval Tata of Tata Group India. The company developed the cheapest car in the world. Think of Perry Morad Obda, who founded eBay, the online auction powerhouse. How about Mike Lazaris of Research in Motion, creators of BlackBerry? Joseph Corey and Serena Rees of Agent Provocateur, the lingerie company. They sell salacious women underwears that are dangerous to the health of men. At this, she smiled and he smiled too. These people focus on human needs and audaciously move in to fulfill fantasies. I like that. These people focus on human needs and audaciously move in to fulfill fantasies. They look for gaps in the fulfillment of fantasies. They think in fantasies. They think in, wouldn't it be nice if out-of-the-box thinkers concentrate on the fulfillment of fantasies? He made a mental note to Google all those names. He needed to learn their stories and draw inspiration from them. The box tells you to give up trying. The box tells you can't get away from your past. The box tells you you will never amount to anything. The box tells you to follow conventional wisdom. The box tells you success is for the privileged few, that there is no exit out of the box. But you know that's a lie, don't you? I mean, look at me. She spoke animatedly, sometimes approaching a televangelist trying to convert a soul. There was no such earnestness. The box tells you the box tells you there's a height restriction to your ambition. It tells you you don't have what it takes, that success is dependent on luck. Then it mocks your dreams. The box is a place of despair. If you want to think out of the box, you've got to think out of the box. If you want to think outside the box, you've got to get out of the box. You will die unless you make the effort to get out. She sighed dramatically, exhaling a gust of carbon dioxide. Sometimes, Providence intervenes to get us out of the box. But even Providence needs our cooperation and effort. Providence likes to see effort on our part. Without a desire for self-actualization, we cannot get out of the box. Desire is the starting point. Her eyes were teary again, but there was a glint in her eyes, a gotcha kind of expression. I found the weakness of the box, The box has a weakness. The young man asked incredulously, his eyes widening. Oh yes, it has a weakness. For one, the box has no hands. It can't prevent you. And it can't withstand determination. The box has never been able to stop a man with courage and determination in his heart. There was a pregnant pause between them. Something was hanging. How about the 3 laws you promised to tell me, the laws of the box? Okay, let's pause to actually reflect on this chapter 4. First thing I would say is that the box kills. The box is dimly lit. See, when we tell people to actually read books, it feels like, you just like to read or it's your hobby. The thing is that whenever you go through life without knowledge of some sort, you're not reading books, you're not improving yourself, you're not doing yourself a lot of good. You're not helping yourself, because knowledge would help you. The Bible says, with knowledge, with wisdom, you wage a great war. When you say read books, what you're inadvertently telling people, when you actually see, right, let me say again this way. When you tell people to read books, it looks like, Tosin, you're just saying your own, it's for you, Efiko, we are doing practical stuff, yeah. You know the way people talk, right? The truth is, once you don't read books, once you're not using experience and books, wisdom and growing every day, you find yourself in a box. You are actually you don't know actually that you're in a box. You just keep recycling old knowledge, old wisdom, but when you use that your experience and mix it with books and learning, you would see that you will do better in all areas of life. So really, that's really one of the parable of the box. Stop moving up and down. Listen to book reviews. Even if you don't have time to read, even Spotify has audiobooks. Listen to audiobooks, listen to book reviews. Just make sure that your life is not dimly lit like the box. Your life is well lit with wisdom, and you're using that wisdom, combining it with practical application in everything you do, and you see that you go forward in life better. This book, Parable of the Box by Leke Alder, is such an amazing book. It's something you really need to reflect on today. Rearrange your life. Sometimes what I do is, as I'm doing things in the house, I just play audiobooks. I just play things to play, you understand, in the background of the speaker, so that those things are entering to me. Sometimes I'm even going to sleep, I'm playing a message, I'm playing a book. I want that thing to enter me like deep. Very, very important. This is an important thing that we really need to think about and act on. So act of the box thing has because the truth is, you can be in a box and you don't know who you are. It's knowledge that would like light your path, and then you know better. The box cannot stop you. Sometimes we are actually valid to say, this happened, that happened. But the truth, the box cannot stop you. The box is incapable of stopping you. The box cannot stop you. Like, it cannot hold you back. Determination, courage, no matter what the situation is, once you are determined and you just mix that determination with some courage, oh my God, you go very, very far in life. The box cannot prevent you, and it can't withstand determination. Nothing can prevent you. Nothing can withstand you. Trust me, you can come against anything that's happened in your past. Once you are determined and you just move in with courage, you are reading books and using wisdom to, conduct your affairs, you will see that you're out of the box. Okay, let me read chapter 5. This is the end. Chapter 5, the 3 laws. There are 3 laws of the box. The first law is nothing is possible. Nothing is possible. He asks quizzically. Yes, nothing is possible. Allow me to list out all the laws first. Then I'll break them for you. I had the same reaction when the old man shared them with me. The first law, like I said, is nothing is possible. The second law is something is impossible. I was about to talk again, but she shooed in. The third law is nothing brings nothing. Nothing is possible. Something is possible. Something is impossible. Nothing brings nothing. The young man repeated, yes, Nothing is possible. Something is impossible. Nothing brings nothing. This is a parable of the box by Leke Alder, and you are listening to Plant Path Podcast, your choice hub for book reviews and crucial conversations. Make sure you share this episode with other people and that you listen to previous episodes. So let's get right into it again. Nothing is possible is about your self-concept, what you think of yourself. You must consider yourself something before you can come up with great ideas. You can't come up with great ideas if you think you're nothing. If you manage to do, you will kill the idea with self-doubt. Self-esteem is crucial to developing wonderful ideas. If you think yourself nothing of yourself, you become nothing. Therefore, nothing is possible. Okay, that's law 1. How about law 2? Something is impossible. Something is impossible is about about resourcefulness in our thinking. When you have an idea, you must take time to think through how to bring it to pass, how to accomplish it. Don't rush out. Think of execution. If you don't, that valuable idea you have, that something in your head will become impossible. How about the third law? Nothing brings nothing. Indeed, nothing brings nothing. It means you may think very highly of yourself, do all the thinking in the world, and imagine all the best solutions. But if you do nothing about your ideas, those ideas will bring you nothing. Interesting. These laws are so simple. Nothing is possible, something is impossible, nothing brings nothing. Nothing is possible, something is impossible, nothing brings nothing. Now that you have the secrets of the box, I have to go. I'm late for an appointment. Thank you so much, he said gratefully. But as she walked into the sunset, she found himself imploring her not to leave. He begins to call after her, Mary, Mary, Mary. He felt a gentle hand on his shoulder. The hand shook him and then shook him vigorously. He suddenly woke up. Who is Mary? His mother teased him. He had been dreaming. And then came the great realization. The box is his imagination. There is no box at all. It's all in his head. All his limitations were in his head. There's nothing stopping him in life except himself. He recited the laws of the box as he remembers from the dream. Nothing is possible. If you think nothing of yourself, you cannot come up with great ideas. You've got to have self-esteem. Nothing is possible. Something is impossible. If you don't think through on how to execute your idea, the idea will fail. That something in your head will become impossible. Nothing brings nothing. If you don't move to execute your ideas, you will get nothing in return. Guess it's up to me now. And that is a parable of the box. That exactly is what the parable of the box is. I leave you with these words as we celebrate International Women's Day. Invest in women. We're supposed to invest in women, invest in inclusion, inspire inclusion, invest in women, grow women. And as we do all of this, this whole invest in women thing, everything, make sure you're not in a box. And if you're in a box, apply the laws to get out of it. Happy International Women's Day. Bye.